and man, you're bringing up a really good point. I do want to get your take really quick on the aftermath of Nagy just really quickly, because I don't think we're trying to make Mitch out to be anything other than maybe just a player who has failed to this point see his full potential. But as you're mentioning, throughout his entire tenure, there was a lot of butting heads, right, of Nagy's system versus what Mitch was probably comfortable with and what Mitch just wanted to do to succeed. And I feel like at a lot of times, too, as well, when you want to talk about Mitch's accuracy down the field and what he did and did not do, when I was watching the tape, I saw a guy who was just trying to please his coach and please his fan base and say, you know what? I'm going to make the right decision on this play no matter what, instead of maybe that gunslinger mentality of maybe he needed someone to be like, man, be Phillip Rivers. Throw some picks. Let's see what happens. Where I felt like when there were plays where guys were developing open down the field, I felt like that he was kind of going with the check down, the sure thing, because he didn't want to maybe piss anybody off like his coaching staff. And to your point, man, look what we did with Justin Fields this year. We did not cater to him at all, especially early on when we said, hey, like, we're throwing this guy into the fire here against Cleveland. Maybe let's just cinch it up a little bit and let's overprotect and try and play, a more conservative game plan style. And you just see it sort of out there, and it's probably goes into a little bit the ego of Matt Nagy. You've been on it. I've seen your takes before. Just maybe bring your take to the audience. I mean, you kind of believe – you don't think Matt Nagy should probably coach in the NFL ever again. I mean, the fact that he's with the Chiefs probably doesn't seem right to you, correct?
Yeah, that was a real head-scratcher. I saw a report here that said maybe he's going to be groomed to be the successor for Andy Reid. I have no clue if that's going to be true or not. I think that's even more ridiculous. No, this guy should not be in the NFL again for the simple point that he sabotaged 2 quarterbacks. I don't understand why this is like a big head scratcher for some people, or like it's like, I've seen people say, oh, he deserves another chance. No, he sabotaged 2 different quarterbacks. That to me shows, I don't care if he's a rookie coach or whatever it might be. He's been around the NFL long enough time to know how to coach a quarterback. I mean, that's why they hired him, right? He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. That's why he was supposed to help out Mitch Trubisky. He knows how to work with quarterbacks. So that argument is false. He sabotaged 2 top picks. Not just quarterback, top picks. Mitch Trubisky was number 2, and Justin Fields was whatever he was, number 11. That is unacceptable to me, especially considering the quarterback position in this day and age is the most important position in the NFL. So if you want to go around sabotaging your quarterbacks or telling them you have to conform to me and you guys don't really have a say-so in anything, unless you're Bill Belichick or unless you're somebody who actually knows what they're doing, it doesn't make any sense to be that way. And it was obvious that it wasn't working. The Bears went 8-8 2 years, and last year was a train wreck. I don't understand why there couldn't have been any changes to Matt Nagy. Instead, he decided to stay stubborn in his ways. That led to him being fired. And I don't understand why he should ever be considered for another head coaching position ever again, even a real coaching position. Like, okay, he was hired to be some assistant offensive guy. I don't know what that's going to entail because Andy Reid calls plays. But even putting him near an offense, I think is ridiculous based on what he did here in Chicago. Everybody wants to sit there and talk about Mitch Trubisky. I'll say Justin Fields got sabotaged too, 100% last year. It also happened to him. And I don't understand it. I just don't get it why, why we have to sit here and praise Nagy or give him another chance when it's obvious that he was given another chance with a new quarterback and it didn't work. And I'm not going to blame Justin Fields, but we already knew it was Matt Nagy was the problem.
Because I think Matt Nagy convinced us that he had this system, and he
right.
came from this program, and I think what we learned over time was that there was limitations to it. He only could cover so much ground, and what I find to be kind of, maybe if we could sort of roll it forward a little bit now to the new regime that we have in place with Ryan Poles as general manager, head coach Matt Eberflus, and more specifically offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to Luke Getsy's press conference, but I'll try and paraphrase as best I can, where they were like, what are your offensive philosophies? You know what I mean? And it was funny where I think like the cynic, he basically just goes like, well, I don't know. Haven't gotten with the guys yet. You know what I mean? Haven't gotten with the guys. I don't know what we're going to be. I don't know what my philosophies are because I haven't been with my players yet. And the cynic goes, well, he just kind of just said he doesn't know what he's doing. But maybe to our point, he just said to himself and to Bears fans, my system will be catered towards what my players do best. We will create it in our own image. I have enough history and wherewithal to adjust. If I need to pull something off this shelf, I can do that. Pull something off that shelf. He's not making a turkey sandwich. He's making a full meal, I think is what he wants to do. And that has me encouraged. Are you at this point, obviously, you're healthy skepticism, but are you encouraged about this new regime coming in right now?
That's a great assessment, Joey, and that's 100% correct. I'm very, very encouraged. I'm even encouraged about what Ryan Poles has done this free agency. A lot of people may not be happy that he hasn't spent a lot of money. I see that really as a good thing. I'd rather him not be wasting money like Ryan Pace did on stupid contracts that are going to end up being worthless in a couple of years.
And real quick, look who's spending the money right now, John. The Jets, the Jaguars. Yep. You know what I mean? Those are the types of teams that are throwing money at free agency. So I'm glad that we're not one of those teams.
Christian Kirk is going to make $20 million per year, and Allen Robinson's barely going to get 17 or 15 in a good enough market.
That's so crazy.